Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler video series V's I do for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, I am rather excited for this one, so hopefully it's good. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm in my back room today, which means we get Beer Can Thunderbolt poster behind me. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am doing something else. What is it? Oh, simple survival. I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Happens to be my mushroom head shirt. One of my very favorite shirts. I love this shirt, man. Very much, I love this era, even though it imploded not too long after this. But if you're unfamiliar with the band Mushroom Head, they are a band out of Cleveland who've been doing it way longer than a lot of people give them credit for. Oftentimes they're compared to Slipknot because they have a lot of members and they wear masks and outfits and stuff. The reality is they did it before Slipknot did. And for a while there was actually a genuine bitter rivalry between the two camps. Though at this point it's pretty much eased off. Though we've still never got a show together with them, which I think a lot of people were hoping for, when the tensions died down. But yeah, man, I'm a big fan of Mushroom Head. I have been ever since my high school days. I was really fortunate. I've seen them perform live a number of times. I actually have some videos of said performances on my channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because they're one of my favorite bands. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why am I really excited for this one? Well, folks, that's because, if you watch my channel, you probably know, hey, if I'm in my back room, there's a good chance I'm doing a ramen review. And that's definitely the case today. In fact, I do so many ramen reviews, I have an entire playlist called Ramen Reviews, wherein it's just reviews of basically instant noodles and instant food stuff. But, which one am I doing today? Happens to be from Cielo Foods. It's boom! It's their Birria instant noodles. Ooh. I'm really hopeful for this. So, I've reviewed some stuff from Cielio's. I did their Seven Maris soup, which was like a sort of seafoody instant noodle thing. I did their pozole, I did their menudo. So they're basically taking that sort of Mexican, type of flavors and dishes, applying them to the instant noodle thing, which I'm a big fan of. The reason why I'm so excited is because of the birria. I reviewed Birria Ramen from Tapatio. And I love it. It's one of my favorite ramens. It's one of my go-tos. I'm really hopeful for this. Now, one thing I will say with the Cielo stuff, their instructions suck ass. They mention that, the best way to do it is the boiling water, pour it in. But they do list microwave instructions, but all it is just an image with a microwave that says 3 minutes. And then they're also saying, do it to the fill line. There's no fill line. I like your products. You need to fix that. But anyway, this one was a little bit fancier, but came with 3 packets of stuff. The way that I did it in the microwave. I went over there, I put the spice packet in with the noodles, and then the sauce packet and then the what the hell ever packet, I don't know what the other thing was, I put those in afterwards. So, if that's not how it's supposed to be done, give me better instructions, I'll do it that way. Let's give it a go. Let's get a thing for the thing here. It looks like this. We'll do this. Ha 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 ha! Let's try out this birria. Okay. Definitely got that sort of birria vibe. If you've never had birria, I hadn't had birria until last year in 2024. Now it's everywhere, and I'm so happy about that. It's a very deep flavor, very savory, a little bit spicy. It is Why it took so long for birria to become a thing in my area, I have no idea. And I'm mad at whoever made that decision because it's so tasty and so good. Okay. The noodles themselves are okay. They're not my favorite noodles, but they're not bad. They eat well enough, but I don't find that I find they're a little bit thinner than some of the other noodles that I enjoy. But it's a minor gripe at best. Um, yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely got a little heat to it. Not anything crazy, but like gets on your lips a little bit to the back of your throat. Has that nice kind of warming sensation. I'm down with that. And yeah, it definitely. Excuse me. Noodle. Noodle got caught in my throat. But yeah, it definitely has a similar flavor to the Tapatio version that I've had. But I will say, Tapatio version, a little bit spicier and potentially a little bit deeper, but potentially a little bit more one-dimensional. Like, I love the Tapatio stuff. It is a hit, just a slam of flavor. With this, it's a little bit more subdued, but I do feel like I'm getting a little bit more. There's a little bit more going on. But let's try some of the broth, kind of get that flavor down, because that's where, Oh. Yeah, that had a little bit more kick to it. Again, not like crazy spicy, but it definitely tickles the back of your throat. Yeah, I'm gonna stand by what I was talking about. I don't think it has the same kick of flavor that the Tapatio does, but I do think it has a little bit more depth to it. I think there's a little bit more going on. There's some subtlety there, and I like that. I'm a fan of this. Yeah, for sure. Just need better damn instructions. And a fill line. I just go by this. I don't know if that's the fill line or not. But, okay. Two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with yes and yes. I think that three questions. Would I get it, or would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Do I prefer it to the Tapatio one? Yes, yes, and no, but. For myself personally, I really enjoy this. Like, it's, again, it's not as strong as the Tapatio, but I do like that there's more going on. I like that there's a little bit more acidity to it. It's not as spicy, which is a little bit good and bad. I mean, I prefer spicier ramen anyway, but I appreciate that because it is a little bit less spicy, you get more of the flavors going on. Um, so I do like it, but there are a few things that, like, would this go over there and become part of my regular rotation of ramen, my ramen rotation, if you will? Um, no, it would be like an occasional add-in. I do prefer the Tapatio overall. Not only is it, I just like the impact of the flavor and the spice a little bit more. I do appreciate that it's simpler, and I appreciate the fact that it has instructions that are good. So there's that. But I do like it enough where, yeah, I could see myself going over there and tagging this one in every now and again because I really do enjoy the fact that, like I said, you get a little bit more complexity of flavor. It's not going to be, again, a go-to, but certainly one that'll show up in my pantry again at some point. And if I'm recommending it, I'm definitely recommending it. I think that I'm really happy that we're getting these, increasingly interesting and inclusive, types of ramen. The fact that we're taking this thing that's fundamentally, seen as being an Asian thing, Japanese thing, what have you, and we have all these great, kind of spins that are being put on it now. And obviously, Mexico, they tend to be a big fan of this stuff, and I'm right there with you, Mexico. And I think it's great that they're getting, their versions of their stuff in there. Obviously, it's not going to compare to the real deal. And if you have the opportunity, get real birria, 100%. But this isn't a million miles away. Again, it's nowhere near as good as the real deal, but it's tasty. If you have already had birria before, the flavors are going to be familiar. And like I said, even though I personally prefer the Tapatio version, I would suggest, maybe try both of them out and sort of see which works better for you. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of week, monumental rest of month, stupendous rest of year. Folks, over there themselves a truly birria-tastic rest of your life. I need to do like a proper review of some real birria. I'll make it happen. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, have you ever had birria before? If you have, let me know what your personal opinion on it is. Also, when did you get access to it? Because like I said, living where I live, yeah, I'm, the middle of the country and everything, but like I'm not too far outside of Chicago, so we tend to get this stuff, We're not like isolated from the rest of the food world. We have a great food scene in the area. And it just, for whatever reason, it wasn't until last year when the birria stuff started coming up, and now it's like kind of everywhere, so. But anyway,